Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing 10 things every newbie photographer should know. So let's get started. So the first thing you should know when you start photography is know your camera. This includes the settings and how your camera operates, the different modes and functions it has. I personally learned watching another photographer when I was doing a photo shoot with me as the model. It was one of my friends, and she explained the different settings to me. That's how I knew the settings on my own camera. Get to know your camera so you can operate it really well and know all the ins and outs to be able to take a good photo. The next tip I have is the rule of thirds. So when you're taking a picture, you generally would think that you'd want subject in the center of the picture, and that's not always the case. The rule of thirds is basically dividing your picture into thirds and then making the focus point off to the side instead of dead on the center. Now this is not going to be true for all the pictures you take, but it is a really good way to spice up your photos. The next tip I have is you don't need to spend a fortune on gear or even a camera. When I first started, I was like, if I had better gear, I would take better pictures. That's not the case. You can have expensive gear, but if you don't know how to work it, how are you ever gonna be able to take good pictures? The gear doesn't take your pictures for you. It's more about you and how you see things too. The next tip I have for anybody starting photography is to experiment with angles. This means not always taking just straight on shots. So go underneath things, crawl around. Photography, you can be really creative with how you see your subject, and you can experiment with lots of different angles. It'll really bring out some unique perspectives. It will make a difference in your photos. The next tip I have is to learn the exposure triangle. This is kind of a whole nother video, but I'll briefly explain it. The exposure triangle includes three things: aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. When all those things are balanced, you get the desired photo. That's the three aspects of the exposure triangle. All these are measured in f-stops. This leads into my next tip, understanding light, and that means experimenting with different times of day. I actually have an app called App and Glow, and it's basically sunrise and sunset times, but also breaks down the different light times. So learn how light affects your images and how you can use that to your advantage. Also when light is too much and will cast shadow. The next tip I have is take your camera everywhere. Become obsessed with taking photos. Take pictures of everything. I have gotten to that point. If anything, practice makes perfect. Going along with practice, looking back at your photos. So even photos you took years ago, look back at them, analyze them, see how you've grown. Even edit it a different way. See what you can improve. Recreate that photo, except with the knowledge you have now. It really is like watching a play in a sports event again. Like analyzing your moves, but photography, analyzing your photos again. So you've taken photos, you've become obsessed, you'll have an abundance of photos, which leads into my next tip: back up your photos. This is so important. I've been there where I thought I've lost photos. I've lost photos because I don't back up my computer. That's every photographer's worst nightmare, is not finding the images you thought you had. I have 2 external hard drives, which I will link in the description box below, on Amazon. Have external storage. There will be that day when your computer won't have any more, and that's why you need external hard drives. Last but not least, learn basic post-processing techniques. I'm not saying go out purchase Photoshop. Just basic things. Like, does take time, it does take practice, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there that can help you learn. I know personally I joined photography Facebook groups that critique my photos. Do anything and everything you can to make sure you're advancing in your photography, because that'll help you improve. Since I am not doing photo shoots right now, due to being high risk for COVID, I can still improve my photography by not only taking pictures. I've joined free editing groups on Facebook where I edit people's photos for free, just for my benefit, so I can stay up on my editing techniques. So there's so many different ways you can improve. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you take your photography to the next level with these tips. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below something you learned or anything photography related. Till next time, guys. First thing we want to always thirds is basically dividing your subject, or dividing your words. And ISO is or picture into threes and edit it a different way if you want.